Alright, hey everyone, it's Ghoul here with a quick video about the latest Film Club movie we did. I also just want to talk in general about a certain subject that has been on my mind lately. Uh, First off, let's get this out of the way quick. The movie for next week is City of God. There goes the fucking train. Um, so, I can pull up the randomizer here. You can see it. I put all the movies in here, randomizer, everything. It's all fair out. Actually, I'm surprised. When I first rolled it, the winner was The Dark Knight Rises, which was nominated as a joke because the plane is made in Brazil. But I thought that'd be fucking ridiculous. So City of God wins. That here it is. You can see right here. Here's the results. No bullshitting around. This is all legit and real. Um, but I wanted to when I first when the original Vacation won, I was like, well, I've already seen that movie, so I thought, well, I'm gonna compare that movie to the new Vacation starring Ed Helms. A little problem with that is that this fucking movie is so boring and devoid of any interesting thing going on. And I probably should have wrote a script for this, but fuck it, we're going live. Uh, I'm just I watched the movie and I didn't really like. It just sort of like it wasn't very funny. I think Ed Helms as a comedian isn't any good. Um, I think in general, I don't know how many what this movie did box office wise, but I imagine it was a flop. I can't imagine this movie made a lot of money. Otherwise, they probably it's been 4 years now. They would have made a Christmas or a European remake Vacation movie at this point with this family if it was a success. I'm sure that was in the works. It was in the plans to do that if this movie was successful, which it was not. Um, so I will give them that. They did not make money on this movie. Here's the deal with this movie. This came out in 2015, which doesn't feel like sound like that's long ago, but that's a long fucking time ago, dude. 4 years, like that's not really a long time, but a lot has fucking happened since then. And I was thinking, since this movie, I mean, like there was Ghostbusters 2016, which was a big fucking mess of a movie that did not make a lot of money, but I was thinking since this movie came out and since Ghostbusters flopped, what has happened to the comedy, like the genre of comedy in general? Because like if you look at like the top comedy movies from 2017, 2018, 2019, like first of all, they're not really making a lot of money, and the ones that are Deadpool or some other fucking shitty like cape shit movie with like it's a comedy action movie or it's a comedy drama or like it's barely considered a comedy. But before I go into that, I suppose I should compare this to the original Vacation. That was my intent in the first place. Um, Structurally, very beat for beat, it's really similar. It's like a very straight up remake. There's a couple of new scenes where like they like cut parts from the movie out where they did like a bit here or a bit there, and instead of like like structuring it differently, the structure is essentially the same, but they cut like set pieces out and put the new set piece in. The only major difference at the climax is they do go to Wally World, and then the parents go to Paris. Um, I don't. It was that a payoff for people that they wanted to go see Wally World. I also got to know in the Vacation, like when they were advertising this movie, they were advertising it as Vacation, which like I understand, but like why not call it National Lampoon's Vacation? Do they not have the rights to the name National Lampoon? You know, like people probably when they saw this movie, it's like, oh, this has nothing to do with National Lampoon, but it does. Chevy Chase is in it. This is the same family. Like this is fucking whatever Rusty Griswold from that movie is all grown up now. Now he's recreating his Vacation. Like it's not like it's a soft reboot, not a remake. And I mean, literally, almost like there are scenes that are shot for shot a remake. Like there's a scene where like there's the pretty woman and like looks like the exact same fucking car. They couldn't get a new car for that scene, but the pretty woman waving at the guy and fucking drive the dad in the window, and then he's waving back at her, and then the twist is she gets hit by a truck. She drifts into the wrong lane. Hilarious. Um, but like the kid falls in love with a fucking girl along the way. Fucking all this shit, and to me, this whole thing is just like, why didn't they call it National Lampoon? Like, what's the point of it not being National Lampoon? I don't know. Whatever the case, it's a fucking. I wouldn't call it a train wreck. It's just fucking boring. But they swim in literal shit. That's some good quality content. That's hilarious. I would consider that both funny and cool. That's what I want to see. I also want to see Chris Hemsworth. Let me find if I can see if I can find. Oh, you get to see on the spot. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth's junk. It's clearly a fake like dildo that they shoved in his pants. Haha, funny. Uh, he this dude hits a cow and then another cow eats it because it's funny because the cow's a cannibal because it eats beef. Isn't that funny? The movie opens with like a collection of like awkward vacation family photos, which just proves to me that all comedy is basically just ripping internet jokes off and like shoving them in down your face on television. Like that's the modern comedy industry. So, fuck you for that. Man, this is dead air. Fuck, 5 minutes already? No way. No fucking way. Well, I guess I've been going for 5 minutes. Anyways, back to the point I really wanted to get to. This movie is not worth your time. It's not even worth comparing to the original Vacation, which is just an okay movie, by the way. They only talk it up because a lot of people watched it at the time. And it's similar to Star Wars in the fact that that movie is considered like I think Christmas Vacation, frankly, like I do think Christmas Vacation is a very good Christmas movie. There's no denying that. And I'm a sap for Christmas movies because Christmas is my family's holiday, you know. So I'm a big fan of those shits. But Christmas Vacation is a genuinely good movie, actually, and you can't deny that. And that's like of the National Lampoon movies is the only one I consider a classic because I don't like Animal House either. But this movie, like, it was fine for the time. It was a decent movie, but a ton of people saw it, so that's why it's considered like this cultural institution. Not because of the quality, just because a lot of people saw it. And so because of that, we need a fucking movie remake. Just like we need Ghostbusters in a fucking remake. And here's my thing. To me, you can tell when a genre is on its way out. When it's on its, like, coasting shit. When you're doing soft reboots or remakes. And, like, and that's any genre. Like, basically comedies have been, for the last fucking 5 to 10 years, have been coasting off of old movies and, like, trying to do remakes and rehashes. Like, you saw it, what was it, 2016 with Ghostbusters, and then this movie, and then there's a couple more remakes, I think, after that, but for the most part, that was, like, their attempt, and now there just aren't comedies anymore, because those didn't make money, so fuck it, we're not doing comedies anymore. I'm going to show you the comedy movies that came out this year. I'm going to go through the list. So, first off is Shazam, which is a cape shit, so I wouldn't consider that a comedy, even though it's a comedy. But it's not, like, billed as a comedy movie. It's like, oh, you're going to go see a superhero movie with a comedic twist, you know? The Hustle, which I don't think anyone saw. Toy Story 4 is a family movie. The Beach Bum, no one saw. The Long Shot, Zombieland Double Tap, How to Train Your Dragon, Fighting with My Family, because I really want to see a porn star's life story turned into a comedy funny movie, haha. But again, with this movie, like, there are some straight up comedies in here, but they're not, like, successful. I'm pretty sure Long Shot and Hustle, and I know Fighting with My Family for sure, was not that financially successful. It wasn't a flop, but I don't think it was like a well received movie. The only, like, Good Boys is getting a lot of advertising and press around it, and that might be, like, the closest thing to, like, a big comedy for, like, this entire year, and that's fucking bizarre. And also, like, outside of Seth Rogen, and I guess fucking this bitch, there really aren't any, like, mainstream comedy actors, like, dominating. Like, there's, like, no Adam Sandler movie, or the Will Ferrell movie, or whatever fucking flavor of the month, or the Bill Murray movie, or the Dan Aykroyd movie, or the Chevy Chase movie, you know? Like, historically, there's always been, like, oh, the comedy movie centered around a comedian because they're funny, you know? And, like, the closest we have right now is fucking Rebel Wilson, who most people don't care about or find funny. And then we're already down to Spider-Man is considered a comedy, family movies, a bunch of shit, Men in Black, like, Once Upon a Time. Now we're not even in comedies anymore, you know? I guess Blinded by the Light is considered one, but who fucking knows? Hobbs and Shaw was not a comedy movie, by the way. That was an action movie. Anyways, I think you understand the point of what I'm saying. Like, the genre film of comedy is essentially gone from the theaters in current year, and you can see it year over year. Less and less traditional straight man comedies are being made, where it's like not like a comedic superhero movie or comedic action movie. It's just a comedy movie. And that's because I think the genre itself is dying, partly because there aren't fresh comedic voices coming out that people are, like, interested in. The closest thing the comedy had to resurgence was Bridesmaids. Let me pull up a picture of Bridesmaids. film, which came out in 2011. That movie was very successful financially. I don't think it's funny, but it was very successful financially, and it like made a lot of these women like very popular. Like it did make a ton of fucking money, and it was very, very like quotable, and people were pushing around at the time. But that was 8 years ago, nearly a decade, and since, you know, comedy movies 2012. Let's go to 2012. What were the comedy movies of 2012? 21 Jump Street, Ted, The Dictator, American Reunion, The Campaign. Like, that's my boy. You want us to notice? Well, I want you to notice. Oh, look at Eddie Murphy movie. All across the line, all these movies were comedy style movies from mainstream actors. I think Ted was the only one successful. Maybe 21 Jump Street. All the other ones, Pitch Perfect too, but that's a fucking musical comedy. Once again, mixed genre. People go to see that for different reasons. But we'll consider Pitch Perfect too. 3 movies. Before, I think 2011, there was significantly more. I didn't do my research for this. I'm a dumbasses. Hangover Part 2 was successful. Bridesmaids was pretty successful. I know fucking Horrible Bosses actually made a decent bit of money. It wasn't incredible. But Your Highness, The Dilemma, Bad Teacher, The Change Up, Johnny English Reborn. What the fuck? Oh my god, Rango was 2011. That feels like an eternity ago. Oh, and Jack and Jill, obviously. The film that allowed Half in the Bag to continue as a series. But let's keep going. 2013, This Is the End. Hangover, Part 3, We're the Millers, who fucking cares? The World's End. And you notice you see more sequels. Scary Movie 5, Identity Thief, Grown Ups 2, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which is actually not a bad flick. I will not deny that. There's a lot of sequels, and I guess Seth Rogen and is like the only one keeping like a new movie. The Internship, which I don't think made a lot of money. 2014, sequel, 22 Jump Street. Neighbors, did not make movie. Interview, lots of controversy, not a lot of money made off of it. Other Woman, Ride Along, Lego Movie, Million Ways to Die in the West. And again, but like even like within the transition from 2012 to 2014, like look at the transition from 2011 to 2014 and how like you're already starting to see kids flicks in this list of what can be considered a comedy, alongside a bunch of sequels and shit. And you're beginning to see from 2011 to about 2015, 2014, you're seeing the steady decline, you know, where movies, there's like 1 or 2 peak movies in around 2011, movies will be successful, etc., but it's going down, and the amount, the quality is going down this entire time. I mean, like most of these movies I'm talking about aren't funny, but in terms of financial success, they're at least making a couple bucks back. But like we're hitting Pixels, and this right here, Pixels, I think, is where Adam Sandler like lost his career. I don't think he's making more movies now. I think that's like specifically the point. The Duff, Daddy's Home, you know, and this is the space. 2015, that's where Will Ferrell, Ed Helms, Kevin James, and Adam Sandler all kind of lost their mojo and lost like their money making ability. Same thing with Ted too. They all like was said, oh, let's come in and make some quick bucks with these comedy actors, and then it's not making the money anymore, guys. 2016, Deadpool, Sausage Party, did that make money? I don't fucking know. And then Ghostbusters 2016, which killed the careers of everyone in that movie. Like all the goodwill they brought up from Bridesmaids, gone, just like that. And this entire like cast of female comedians, gone, wiped off the face of the earth. The Brothers Grimsby, no one watched that shit. You notice though, the only movie of these that like you remember is fucking Deadpool, and that's because Deadpool now turns comedy into cape shit. 2017, Baywatch, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Lego Batman movie. Baywatch did not make money. Girls Trip, fucking Coco. Yeah, 2017, there were no comedies in the theater. And then we get to 2018, where we get a couple of them. Didn't make a ton of money. Cockblockers or Game Night, but I remember people saw them. Night School, Tag. I remember there was a lot of advertising for Tag, but I don't know if people saw it. Black Klansman's considered a comedy. Fuck that. And finally, we get to where we started again, movies of 2019. what's my point by showing you all this? What are you noticing in this pattern? Is that slowly but surely this whole like subgenre of comedy is turning into cape shit and other genres of movies. It's becoming like a subgenre to another thing. Sort of like fantasy films, you know? Like, fantasy films were big during Lord of the Rings, and even before then you have a couple of Dungeons and Dragons style movies or like something like that. Or science fiction, you know? Like, you have Star Wars now, but remember Star Trek tried to do the reboot thing? But when was the last time we had an original science fiction movie that was, like, widely commercially successful? It was probably, God, fucking Arrival? And I don't even know if that was fucking successful. And you'll have a couple of indie, like, comedies or indie, like, sci-fi movies that do decently well. But if you look at, like, Arrival, that was 2016, and since 2016, like, there's... I don't know. You see what I'm saying, though. Like, the pattern I noticed with comedy, I also kind of noticed it with sci-fi, where these genres that they're trying to build off of are all kind of, like, falling away and caving in. And the ones that are taking their place is just cape shit. That's all that's left. 16 fucking minutes. Jesus Christ. Well, I suppose I should wrap this up by actually ending on a real point, a real, actual important point, and that is that this whole movie sucked. I don't know what the... let me pull up the nominations for next week's thing. What is it? It's starring or revolving around animals, so whatever you want to pick for that. But I think the point you need to understand is that comedy as a genre is dead. Like, say, people tell me I look like John Candy. I could be like, you know, fucking... Wait, not John Candy. Or Chris Farley's another big one, too, that people tell me I kind of look like a Chris Farley. Like, oh, just be funny, dude. You give me like Chris Farley. And the problem is that, no, you can't. There's no outlet for comedians. There's no, like, lateral movement for stand-up comedians anymore. Like, essentially, you're limited to getting funny shit on the internet. But even then, like, most stand-up comics nowadays are, like, legacy people. Like, Louis C.K. was big for a while, but now he's gone. Thank God. Sorry, Cuck fans, but Louis C. Cuck is gone. All the SNL cast right now will never be successful as stand-up comedians or successful in films. Most, like, some of them, like Keegan, like, what was fucking, the fucking fat black guy. All That. The guy from All That. Kenan Thompson. Yeah, Kenan Thompson is stuck in SNL now because he couldn't make it in Hollywood. The reason why you see, what's their fault? Key and Peele, the Key and Peele show guys, in everything right now, they're either directing or they're being pushed somewhere, is because there is literally no other, like, source of comedians. Like, they were successful on Comedy Central, and now they're in fucking Toy Story, every other movie. They were in, one of the guys was in fucking Vacation, which I just watched, because, like, the Always Sunny guys, like, those guys are never gonna be successful, film actors. You know, I mean, they're funny, but they're not going to be successful in film. They're going to be stuck in television. And so you're not going to get this generation's Bill Murray or Chevy Chase or whatever out of the system we have right now, because most of the funny people, first of all, aren't allowed to be funny anymore. And second of all, most of the funny people don't succeed because the whole comedy industry is a fucking nepotistic bitch at face. You know? Plus, to get noticed, you essentially, like, most, like, people, if they're doing really innovative, interesting comedy, they're stuck online doing shitty YouTube videos that get deleted off of their channel within 5 fucking minutes because the entire policy is to delete everything as soon as possible. So, get used to not having comedy movies anymore is what I'm trying to say. Comedy movies will not be a thing in 5 years. They will be nothing. You will go and watch Ryan Reynolds be Funny Man in Deadpool, and other than that, you're not getting a straight comedy basically forever. Until there is a stable way to build comedians as stars, like an SNL alternative, or lateral movement through Adult Swim, or people stopping blacklisting people. Oh, Tim Heidecker was in fucking Vacation. Yeah, what the fuck is that guy doing? I thought that guy had integrity. You know, I thought that guy was supposed to know what was funny, but here he is starting in the Vacation remake. What a fucking joke. What an absolute comedy farce. Anyways, next week's film is starring revolving around animals. Please nominate below if you can. If you have any suggestions for that. Otherwise, this has been a 20 fucking minute video already. Fuck. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I was thinking about this once I was talking about the video with what's his face. The video I did about complaining about my life and how shitty life is, about where I would take a girl on a date. Is I was all thinking, well, there's no romantic movies really at the movie theaters anymore, and there's also no comedies. You know, like I understand that there's indie shit and there's indie movies you can go see, but I don't have access to that personally in a theater like capacity. And I can watch anything on my own time. And if I want to watch something on my computer, I have way more options than a film to watch, frankly. Including, like, if I want to find something funny, I'm just going to watch a YouTube video from, like, someone I find funny. Like Don Jolly, who I'm ripping off his video style right now. I completely. Go subscribe to Don Jolly. He's awesome. But, yeah, no. I'm sincerely scared, not for me, but for every single person who's growing up and is going to be forced to find this quippy dialogue of the Avengers and Deadpool funny, and that's like their source of comedy in their life, and that's how they will develop their humor taste and like style. They will evolve it off of bad TV shows with quippy dialogue and horrible cape shit movies instead of like finding like real comedy in funny people. You know, a lot of our comedy we steal from other people. Like I'm stealing the Don Jolly bits, his fucking video style right now, but most comedy we get by copying other people. Not directly stealing their jokes, but stealing their style, their mannerism. You know, no one's copying Ed Helms to try and be funny, you know? And because of that, they're not copying anyone. They're going to copy Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and you will forever be grating your ears and teeth as you listen to some 13-year-old who thinks Deadpool's the funniest shit. But maybe I'm just an old man who needs to get the fuck out of the way. Anyways, peace out, guys. Make sure to nominate the film below. I will talk to you later. See ya.